The Young and the Restless recap for Thursday, April 10, reveals that Martin Laurent will be arrested after Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers' confession trap. At the GVAC, Martin will keep pretending he's Alan Laurent, despite Ashley Abbott demanding that he cut the crap and come clean about taking over his brother's life. Jack Abbott will nearly attack Martin, but Chance Chancellor will hold him back. Although Traci Abbott will push Martin to confirm his identity, he'll play the victim and go with Chance to clear his name. In the GCPT interrogation room, Alan will act like Chance would have charged him by now if he had anything. Chance will make a prediction about the fingerprints from the farmhouse being a match and will await proof. After Sharon and Phyllis get updates on Alan being at the station, they'll show up to confront him together. Phyllis and Sharon will push for an explanation regarding the kidnapping experiment and all the horror they went through. At one point on Thursday's I&R episode, Phyllis will offer Alan a bottle of water, unless he's scared to drink it. As Phyllis taunts Alan over his defeat, he'll finally blow up and shout that's enough. However, Alan will calm down a bit and act like he's just frustrated over all the accusations. After Alan starts talking about Martin being a genius who facilitated Ashley's breakthrough, Sharon will wonder if that's what he was trying to do with them too. To push Martin's buttons, Phyllis and Sharon will claim they hate each other even more than they did before. Sharon will start arguing right in front of Martin to sell the idea that his experiment was a total failure. Martin will suspect Sharon and Phyllis are faking it just to trick him, but he'll still get all riled up like they planned. In the end, Martin will start ranting about Alan not being worth the ink on his diploma and will make it clear that he's the successful brother instead. Since Martin will remain convinced that he helped Phyllis and Sharon, he won't think that was a crime. Of course, Chance will disagree. After Phyllis and Sharon taunt Martin about becoming a lab rat in a jail cell, Chance will place Martin under arrest and put handcuffs on him. At the GCAC, Traci will blame herself for all the chaos Martin unleashed, but she'll get plenty of reassurance from Jack and Ashley. After Traci steps away for a moment alone, she'll remove her engagement ring. Later, Sharon and Phyllis will give Traci the news of Martin's arrest. Since Martin's Evo was his downfall and led to his confession, Sharon will assure Traci that it's all over. The Young and the Restless spoilers say it'll take some time for Traci, Sharon, and Phyllis to heal, but they can hopefully start truly working toward that now. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Nikki Newman could be gearing up for a birthday party disaster. Will this Newman bash take a wild turn? I and our fans know that anytime there's a fancy celebration with lots of guests, there's the potential for things to go horribly wrong. Disastrous parties are a soap staple, so we should consider the possibility that Nikki's birthday shindig will end in catastrophe. Jay Rodriguez has been cast as a party planner named Pietro, but he won't be able to anticipate all the conflict and curveballs that could play out. Despite Pietro's best efforts to make sure this event goes off without a hitch, there are bound to be some snags along the way. Victor Newman will treat Nikki like a queen for the evening, but this whole thing could become quite the horror show. If Nikki insists on having Jack Abbott at her party, that could lead to a serious fight breaking out with Victor. Michael Baldwin could easily get caught in the middle of all that. Of course, Kyle Abbott might accompany Claire Newman as her date, but Victor's efforts to blow them apart could finally come to an explosive climax. There'd be no better place for Claire and Kyle to break up than a birthday bash with all eyes watching their destruction. It'll be awfully soapy if that's when Victor finally gets his wish for Kyle and Claire to split. It's also possible Mickey's birthday party will come with a crasher. Could this be when Aristotle Dumas finally reveals his true identity and stuns the crowd with his arrival? No matter how it all goes down, it seems likely that Nikki's celebration will have a chaotic outcome. What starts off as a pleasant night of fun could turn into some jaw-dropping mayhem that catches all the guests off guard. Although Victor will make some predictions about Nikki having the time of her life, this party could head south quickly once it gets underway. Pietro will start planning the event on May 28, so it sounds like June is when the action will happen. The Young and the Restless spoilers say some Newman family shockers are still to come, so we'll bring you updates on all the stunning news and major showdowns ahead. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, April 11, reveal that Victor Newman will make a punishment promise while Sally Spectra grills Audra Charles. Victoria Newman will also reflect on a hard lesson. So let's talk about what's coming up in Friday's My and Our episode. For starters, Sally will sit down for a chat with Audra, but it may take a troubling turn. Audra is contemplating an offer from Victor, so she may give Sally updates and leave her sounding the alarm. Since working for Victor didn't end well for Audra before, Sally may wonder why she'd risk signing up for more drama. There's no guarantee Victor will deliver on his dream job offer, and even if he does, Audra can't count on him not to fire her down the road. Audra may not go into all the details of Victor's deal to destroy Kyle Abbott, but Sally may sense the potential for some relationship drama too. Nate Hastings' disapproval could lead to romantic disaster here, so Sally may warn Audra to keep that in mind. Nevertheless, Audra has been out of work for a while now, and she really would like to get payback on Kyle. There are reasons why Audra may remain tempted to take Victor up on his offer, despite the risks of doing business with Victor. No matter what Audra decides, Victor will make a promise when it comes to Kyle's future. Since Victor feels like Kyle deserves a harsh punishment for dating Claire Newman and setting her up for heartbreak, he'll vow to deliver it. Victor will want to make Kyle suffer over his Abbott family connection and whatever he's cooking up at Abbott as well. Although Victor doesn't know about Kyle and Jack Abbott trying to beat him at his own spy game, he may find out soon enough. As for Victoria, she'll reflect on a difficult lesson she's learned, potentially when it comes to her past romances and Victor's control over them. Victoria will hope she can stop Victor from controlling Claire's love life in the same way, but we all know how Victor operates. Now that Victor's making predictions about Kyle's comeuppance, it's just a matter of time until things blow up for Kyle and Claire. The Young and the Restless spoilers say awful news is brewing for Claire and Kyle's relationship, so stay tuned to see whether they can withstand the challenges to come. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of April 14, 2025 are here. Fans can expect Sally Spectra to face a dilemma. Claire Grace Newman senses something isn't quite right. Plus, what does the future hold for Traci Abbott after Martin Lawrence's explosive confession? Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up next week in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Victor Newman, who is resorting to desperate measures to break up Claire and Kyle Abbott. Victor has already tempted Audra Charles into the scheme. At first, she rejected Victor's proposal, then said she would think about it. Audra has been out of work for months now, so Victor's promise might be worth the risk to her. Of course, Audra might have some issues when it comes to Nate Hastings. Audra has already shown that she tells half-truths a lot with Nate. So Audra might tell Nate that Victor offered her a job, but might not tell him what she has to do in exchange. Claire Grace Newman's instincts. The Young and the Restless spoilers for next week reveal that Claire's instincts will warn her something isn't quite right. Claire already is on guard over Victor targeting Kyle. Claire is also caught in the middle when it comes to her grandfather's feud with Jack Abbott. Jack has been incredibly kind and supportive of Claire despite her past. So if Claire suspects something, she could feel compelled to give Jack a heads up. Over with Summer Newman, she feels terrible about Chance Chancellor. However, Summer needs to figure out what her feelings for Kyle really are. Is it just her having a tough time coping with Kyle and Harrison Abbott's other woman, or does Summer really want another chance with Kyle? Of course, Summer did admit to Chance that she wished Claire would disappear. What happens if Claire suddenly goes missing? There is also Traci, who will have some serious soul-searching after Martin's exposure and confession. Traci will lean on Jack and Ashley Abbott for support. Meanwhile, Martin's explosive confession could also provide Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers with some much-needed closure. There is also the risky deal Billy Abbott has made with the mysterious Aristotle Dumas. Billy gave in to temptation since Chancellor was promised, but this could be a deal that he later regrets. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Jay Rodriguez has joined the cast of Y&R. So let's talk about his new role as Pietro the party planner. Us Weekly reports Rodriguez will be part of a 4-episode arc, and that his first air date will be on May 28. Of course, Pietro's profession is a big clue about what's coming up. Since Pietro makes his living planning parties, fans can indeed expect an exciting bash to shake up Genoa City. It turns out the Newman clan will hire Pietro to help them make sure this shindig is an event to remember. The party will be in honor of Nikki Newman's upcoming birthday, so Victor will want to make sure everything is perfect for his love. You can bet Victor will throw in some fun surprises to make Nikki's night special, so he'll prove how romantic he can be, even after all these years together. As for Pietro, he's apparently a pretty big deal in the party planning industry. Pietro is the person you call when you want a party done right, so it's no surprise that he'll be hired for this hot event. Jay Rodriguez will make his first appearance in the May 28 episode, but he'll appear in a total of 4 shows as part of this guest arc. It sounds like the Newmans will really pull out all the stops to make sure Nikki celebrates her birthday in style. You might recognize Rodriguez as one of the original Fab Five members on Bravo's Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Rodriguez previously appeared on All My Children, One Life to Live and Days of Our Lives as well, so this I&R stint won't be his first soap rodeo. You might also have seen Rodriguez on Eastsiders, Uncoupled, Grey's Anatomy, The Rookie, High Potential, Bros, and more. Are you excited to see Jay Rodriguez make his debut as Pietro? Will Nikki's birthday party set the stage for some drama? The Young and the Restless spoilers say Pietro will make some positive predictions about the bash being a success, but stay tuned for updates on whether bad news might still be brewing. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Billy Finn is headed to Genoa City. The news was announced a few weeks ago, and still there is no news on the character's name or any details. No matter who Flynn is playing, he seems like he would pair well with Sally Spectra. Let's get started on talking about this fun, romantic theory. When Sally came to Genoa City, she was still scheming and manipulating. However, Sally had to learn some tough lessons and face the consequences. Since then, Sally has focused on being a better person. When Sally got pregnant, fans were excited for the character. It was heartbreaking and agonizing to see Sally lose that child. Since then, Sally's life has been pretty boring by soap standards. Sally is with Billy Abbott, and the romantic pairing is lackluster to say the least. Those that watched B&B know that Sally used to be on that soap opera. Sally left with a bang and really showed off her acting chops. Sally's acting ability and range is really impressive. So it's surprising that Sally has been given such boring storylines lately. Perhaps that's because the character is resting, meaning Sally has an explosive story coming up. Billy Flynn's big move. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that it was announced Flynn was leaving DOOL and going to Y&R. However, no details about Flynn's character have been released. Not even a cast photo. Considering that there is a big mystery about the identity of Aristotle Dumas, some fans think it's connected. It certainly sounds like it's possible, although Flynn might not be Dumas himself, but perhaps in hair. When Flynn arrives in Genoa City, he could turn a lot of heads. One person that might take a special interest in the newcomer is Sally. Even though Sally seems content enough with Billy, that relationship is doomed. It is also incredibly boring, and Sally deserves some more action in the soap. Flynn's character just might provide that. While the new character could see sparks with Sally, he likely also has secrets and mysteries. As with all soap characters, the fun is unraveling all those mysteries. Could Flynn's move to GC provide Sally with some excitement and suspense? Even if Flynn's character isn't really a good guy, Sally knows all about second chances, so stay tuned. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, April 9 show that Chance Chancellor has an alarming turn of events, and Jack Abbott and Ashley Abbott have reason to worry. First of all, Jack gets a disturbing call from his sister Traci Abbott's phone. This means that he overhears a convo between Alan Laurent, aka Martin Laurent, and Traci. Jack has been worried for days about Traci, and the call confirms his worst fears. Jack lets Ashley in on what he knows, and now there are two panicked people. What are the chances that Alan realizes that Traci dialed out on her phone? If Alan becomes aware of Traci's trick, we can see him losing his cool or whatever's left of it. It could push the madman to take Traci hostage, just as he did with Sharon Rosells and Phyllis Summers. Jack will be wise to call the cops and let Chance Chancellor in on what he knows about Alan and Traci. At one point in the show, Chance discovers something upsetting disturbing, and it may be Jack's story about Traci and Alan. Or it could be that Chance gets concrete evidence of Martin's part in the kidnapping of Sharon and Red. Whatever the case, the detective will want to move fast, and he could warn Ashley and Jack not to break and enter, or Martin could be triggered into even more despicable behavior. Then again, Jack and Ashley may discover that Martin has taken Traci to another location. However the details go down, we can tell you that Traci has the chance to interrogate Alan very soon. Traci is furious about being played, but she shouldn't underestimate Martin's ability to manipulate the facts. Plus, how will he react to being found out? Is he capable of harming Traci? Explosive The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Traci's family have reason to fear the worst happening to her. This storyline will get more soapalicious this week, and you don't want to miss a single minute of the red-hot action. Exciting changes are coming to Genoa City. The Young and the Restless comings and goings just confirmed the arrival of a brand new character. Actor and TV personality Jay Rodriguez is joining My and R for a short role. Rodriguez will play Pietro, a confident, in-demand party planner. His first airdate is May 28, and he'll appear in a 4-episode arc. Pietro isn't just any party guy, he's got serious star power and brings a lot of flair to everything he does. His arrival promises some lighthearted energy and may even set the stage for deeper drama. Why is Pietro showing up in Genoa City? Because the Newman family has a celebration in mind. Nikki Newman is about to celebrate another birthday, and Victor Newman wants it to be perfect. To make that happen, Victor hires the best in the business. That's where Pietro comes in. Fans can expect lavish decor, elite guest lists, and maybe a few jaw-dropping surprises. Even though Pietro's known for throwing flawless parties, things in Genoa City rarely go off without a hitch. While his goal is to give Nikki a magical night, anything can happen at a Newman event. Will someone cause a scene? Will secrets be revealed during the celebration? I and our fans know how fast parties can turn into chaos. Rodriguez isn't new to soap operas. He's previously appeared on All My Children, One Life to Live, and Days of Our Lives. He also gained fame as a member of Bravo's Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. His TV credits include Grey's Anatomy, East Siders, The Rookie, Uncoupled, and High Potential. Now, he's diving back into the soap world, bringing charm and excitement to Y and R. This new arc is short but sweet. If you love elegant parties and unexpected twists, this one's for you. Stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for the latest on the young and the restless comings and goings. Until next time, keep watching and stay dramatic. Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that 3 broken hearts are brewing. So let's talk about the characters who will face romantic devastation. Y and R definitely has some pain in store for a few Genoa City residents, so here's what fans can expect. 1. Traci Abbott. For starters, there's Traci Abbott, whose heartbreak has already begun thanks to her growing suspicions about Alan Laurent being Martin Laurent. It looks like Traci will soon get confirmation on Martin's true identity and the fact that he orchestrated the captivity scheme at the clinic. Traci planned on marrying Alan and living a beautiful life together, so she'll be crushed once everything falls apart. Alan aka. Martin is a dangerous monster, not the man of Traci's dreams. It'll be hard for Traci to pick up the pieces of her shattered heart, but life must go on in GC. 2. Claire Newman. As for Claire Newman, she may get hit with heartbreak from multiple angles. If Audra Charles ultimately goes along with Victor Newman's pitch, she may successfully destroy Kyle Abbott's romance with Claire. With Audra's assistance, Victor may force Claire to see an uglier side of Kyle and ruin their relationship in the process. If that happens, Claire will end up heartbroken over losing Kyle, and she could end up heartbroken over Victor's sabotage if she finds out about that too. Jealous Summer Newman is a factor in all this as well, so she could add to the misery that may be looming for Claire. 3. Nate Hastings. Nate Hastings may be gearing up for some heartbreak of his own, especially if Audra goes through with this Kyle takedown plot. That could lead to strife in Audra and Nate's romance, especially if she keeps secrets about what she's up to for Victor. The fact that Audra's considering working for Victor at all could be a real problem for Nate. Of course, we can't forget about Holden Novak and his past connection to Audra, which may not be so far in the past after all. Holden and Audra could cross the line thanks to the flirting they'll do later this month, so stay tuned for updates on how far these ex-lovers might go. Regardless, Nate could find himself brokenhearted once his storyline brings some terrible news. The Young and the Restless spoilers say several characters will have to make predictions about their next chapters, so don't miss all the romantic twists ahead. Is where you want to be for sizzling Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates, so stop by frequently for more Y and R details. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Jay Rodriguez has joined the cast of Y and R, so let's talk about his new role as Pietro the party planner. Us Weekly reports Rodriguez will be part of a 4-episode arc, and that his first air date will be on May 28. Of course, Pietro's profession is a big clue about what's coming up. Since Pietro makes his living planning parties, fans can indeed expect an exciting bash to shake up Genoa City. It turns out the Newman clan will hire Pietro to help them make sure this shindig is an event to remember. The party will be in honor of Nikki Newman's upcoming birthday, so Victor will want to make sure everything is perfect for his love. You can bet Victor will throw in some fun surprises to make Nikki's night special, so he'll prove how romantic he can be, even after all these years together. As for Pietro, he's apparently a pretty big deal in the party planning industry. Pietro is the person you call when you want a party done right, so it's no surprise that he'll be hired for this hot event. Jay Rodriguez will make his first appearance in the May 28 episode, but he'll appear in a total of 4 shows as part of this guest arc. It sounds like the Newmans will really pull out all the stops to make sure Nikki celebrates her birthday in style. You might recognize Rodriguez as one of the original Fab Five members on Bravo's Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Rodriguez previously appeared on All My Children, One Life to Live and Days of Our Lives as well, so this I and R stint won't be his first soap rodeo. You might also have seen Rodriguez on East Siders, Uncoupled, Grey's Anatomy, The Rookie, High Potential, Bros, and more. Are you excited to see Jai Rodriguez make his debut as Pietro? Will Nikki's birthday party set the stage for some drama? The Young and the Restless spoilers say Pietro will make some positive predictions about the bash being a success, but stay tuned for updates on whether bad news might still be brewing. It's the place to be for sizzling Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates, so stop by regularly for more details. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that 3 storylines could blow up Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers' newfound truce. Phyllis and Sharon have reached an understanding, but we can certainly think of some ways to burst the peaceful bubble and put them back at square one. With that in mind, let's talk about some story possibilities that could undo the progress that Sharon and Phyllis have made. Phyllis and Sharon may become rivals again down the road, so here are some strategies I and R could use to make it happen. 1. Nick's love triangle back on. Of course, we should start with the easiest path to blowing things up between Sharon and Phyllis. Nick Newman was at the center of Phyllis and Sharon's feud for many years, so it won't be surprising if he's the reason their truce falls apart. Although Nick rejected a reignited romance with Sharon, there's a chance he'll surrender to some passion eventually. However, no one can rule out the idea of a Phyllis and Nick reunion either. Nick has a powerful connection and history with both women, so another round of this love triangle could play out at some point. If that's the case, Sharon and Phyllis may throw their truce right out the window. 2. Sharon and Daniel's surprise romance. On social media, some fans have been holding out hope for Sharon and Daniel Romalotti Jr.'s potential romantic relationship. Daniel is still working on fully forgiving Sharon, but he knows deep down that her drugged actions weren't her fault. Ian Ward and Jordan were the real ones to blame for what happened to Heather Stevens. It'd be soapy if Daniel ultimately went beyond forgiveness and developed romantic feelings for Sharon. Daniel and Sharon might find an interesting path forward together after everything they've been through. Phyllis would absolutely lose it if Sharon and Daniel became a couple, so that would definitely end the truce. 3. More Faith and Lucy drama. Another intriguing option might be if more drama goes down between Faith Newman and Lucy Romalotti. That could put the peace Sharon and Phyllis have established to the test, especially if additional danger is involved. Phyllis is always going to be protective of her granddaughter, and Sharon is always going to be just as protective of her daughter. If Lucy and Faith get tangled up in some fresh chaos together, it could be enough to ruin Sharon and Phyllis' understanding. Although Phyllis and Sharon have made some hopeful predictions about sticking with this attempt at peace, some shocking news could shake things up one way or another. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Sharon and Phyllis may make some updates to their perspectives down the line, so stay tuned. In the April 10, 2025 episode of The Young and the Restless, a climactic series of events unfolds, signaling a major shift in the ongoing Martin Lawrence storyline. With Traci Abbott's life on the line, the Abbott family finds itself at the center of a high-stakes rescue mission. Jack Abbott, facing the aftermath of a ruthless attack on his sister, makes the critical decision to confront danger head-on, underscoring themes of loyalty, sacrifice, and justice. Traci's abduction by Alan Laurent, who is later revealed to be Martin Lawrent in disguise, sparks a desperate attempt by Jack to retrieve her safely. As the situation escalates, Chance Chancellor intensifies the investigation, uncovering key forensic evidence, including fingerprints that link Martin to the abduction. This discovery paves the way for a tactical operation designed to bring him to justice. Meanwhile, Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers, historically at odds, set aside their differences to confront a common enemy. Their unlikely alliance becomes instrumental in identifying Martin's location and aiding law enforcement in the takedown effort. As both women track Martin, They expose layers of deception that have impacted not just Traci, but their lives as well. The truth comes into sharp focus when Ashley Abbott confirms that Traci's captor is not Alan Laurent, but his twin brother Martin, a revelation that devastates Traci, who once had deep feelings for Alan. In an emotionally charged confrontation, she demands the truth from Martin. The ensuing exchange raises questions about trust, identity, and whether redemption is possible. As the episode reaches its climax, Martin finds himself completely surrounded. Despite efforts to escape, including attempts to manipulate those around him, he's ultimately cornered by the combined forces of chance, the Abbotts, Sharon, and Phyllis. His arrest brings closure to a long arc of manipulation and betrayal. Notably, this episode also hints at growing tension in the Newman family. A brief but pointed conversation between Phyllis and Summer Newman raises questions about Summer's evolving relationship with Kyle Abbott, adding another layer of interpersonal complexity. With Martin Laurent's story approaching its end, viewers witness a dramatic culmination of weeks of buildup. The resolution not only delivers long-awaited justice, but also reaffirms the resilience and unity of key characters. As secrets unravel and alliances form under pressure, The Young and the Restless continues to captivate audiences with a potent mix of suspense, emotional depth, and character-driven storytelling. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease Victor Newman's informants might leak some misleading information, but the actions of Kyle Abbott and Jack Abbott could backfire. Get updates on the latest news about The Young and the Restless straight to your inbox. Kyle's concerns regarding an employee named Matheson enabled him to assist Jack in uncovering Victor's newest plan. With Jack and Kyle now wary that Victor has infiltrated Jabot with spies, they can focus on uncovering them and enticing these employees with higher pay to flip the situation in their favor. Jack aims to outsmart Victor, so the most strategic move is to allow Victor to believe his scheme is succeeding. Jack and Kyle can provide these spies with false information, which they will then relay to their previous employer. I and our fans are aware that Michael Baldwin serves as the intermediary in this scenario. The fabricated intel will need to pass through Michael first, but if Jack and Kyle execute their plan skillfully, he might not catch on to any discrepancies. When Victor learns about the upcoming product launches, he might decide to undermine them. He could invest both time and money into this sabotage scheme, only to discover that he's been missiled. Once Victor comes to the realization that Kyle and Jack have been deceiving him, he may retaliate fiercely. His desire for revenge is already brewing, but this revelation could push him to his limits. Meanwhile, Lauren Fenmore Baldwin has been expressing her concerns about the perilous path that lies ahead for Michael Baldwin. With Michael potentially on a dangerous trajectory, Lauren is optimistic that he will recognize the right moment to sever ties with Victor and steer clear of serious consequences. However, Michael's strong loyalty to Victor might be difficult to overcome, especially when he's pressured to go beyond acceptable limits. This is why Jack and Kyle's efforts to thwart Victor's espionage plot could lead to catastrophic results. Their actions might provoke an even greater wrath from Victor, pulling Michael deeper into turmoil. Future spoilers indicate that Victor may alter his methods of revenge as the plot unfolds, so stay tuned for updates on his elaborate schemes. Both Jack and Victor have been around in the business world long enough to know corporate espionage is not always a safe process. Sometimes, some of the spying is even illegal. For instance, a corporate spy could be suspected of insider trading, and Victor is certainly not immune. Even with an experienced lawyer like Michael involved, there is always a fair amount of risk. But still, Victor has been in the corporate world longer than Jack, and the feud between the two started when Jack wasn't much older than Kyle. He knows the tricks of the trade to come out on top, and Jack may be unfairly matched with the mustache. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Y and R right now. Come back here often for The Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates. The Young and the Restless just became a whole lot more exciting with Michelle Morgan's return as Amanda Sinclair. Fans are thrilled to see the Emmy winner back in Genoa City, and her off-screen lunch date with Michelle Stafford is winning hearts too. Michelle Morgan and Michelle Stafford recently caught up at Erewhon, the ultra-fancy grocery store near The Young and the Restless set. Michelle, rollers still in her hair, proudly told fans, "This is Leia, nothing's too weird here." As they browsed the hot food bar, Michelle zeroed in on the sliders. "Those are my favorite," she gushed, calling the food bar divine. Michelle, laughing, wondered how much this lunch would cost them. Spoiler alert, $52. Michelle revealed her haul: salmon noodle salad, sliders, and surprisingly, a box of dryer sheets. Meanwhile, Michelle opted for acai mousse and black cod with veggies. Their pricey meal had fans chuckling, but Michelle defended it. "It's health. It's a good product," she insisted. As they settled outside, scripts for upcoming scenes were clearly visible on their table. It wasn't just a glam girl's lunch, it was also work prep. That means fans can expect Amanda and Phyllis to light up the screen together very soon. While the full plot is still hush-hush, Amanda's return could link to the rising chaos involving Aristotle Dumas. Genoa City always has legal battles brewing, and Amanda's courtroom brilliance could save the day again. Her bond with Phyllis also can't be ignored. After everything Phyllis has faced, Amanda may offer the support she truly needs. Even if Amanda's stay is short, her presence is powerful. Online buzz is strong, with many fans already speculating, could Hillary make a shocking comeback next? For now, Amanda is what Genoa City needs. Whether fighting for justice or sharing heartfelt scenes with friends, she always leaves a mark. The Young and the Restless fans are in for a treat this spring. With Michelle Morgan returning as Amanda Sinclair, the drama just turned up a notch. Stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for all the juicy updates and behind-the-scenes scoop. The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Alan Laurent has returned from Paris, France. He's arguably the most dangerous character in Genoa City, Wisconsin. Traci Abbott is scared out of her mind, but she has fortitude and is determined to learn whether Alan's brother, Martin Laurent, has been posing as the man she fell in love with all these months. Viewers know one half of the mystery because the character Cousins has been playing, whoever he is, did kidnap Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers. However, the audience has been blocked from knowing whether Alan or Martin survived last year's window fall in Paris, France. Chance Chancellor believes that Alan is likely the kidnapper, but he needs proof to file charges and arrest him. Phyllis is the most skittish about this stretched storyline. Unlike Sharon, who was impacted but is handling the after effects of the kidnapping better, Phyllis is pressing for information. It's natural for both ladies to seek a final resolution because the perpetrator hasn't been conclusively identified, let alone caught. But Chance needs to be careful so he doesn't endanger any legal case Alan might have when trying to avoid a conviction and being put behind bars. Traci sensed that the man she fell in love with was becoming enraged. Adam's unexpected arrival in her Genoa City Athletic Club suite turned ugly, as Jack Abbott predicted. But Jack's prediction to his other sister, the just-returned Ashley Abbott, was to take effect the next day. Jack stopped Ashley from going to Traci's suite, not knowing Ellen was with her. Thankfully, Traci was able to send a distress call to Jack. She somehow called him by reaching into her pocket and sending an electronic warning that was also an eavesdropping invitation. Doing so let Jack know what was happening, sparking the next phase of this unfolding tale. Viewers don't yet know if Alan died that fateful day in Paris, France. Without confirmation, the fans and the involved characters aren't aware of the true identity of the character Cousins is portraying. However, viewers do know that Alan did kidnap Phyllis and Sharon as part of a twisted experiment. So he'll either meet a grim fate, escape, or be captured. In any instance, everyone on both sides of the screen will learn who Traci has fallen in love with. The mystery of why he became a kidnapper and his intentions toward Traci will soon be known. One potential consideration is to involve Cousin's character in targeting Traci for love to pull himself out of madness. Alternatively, his aim could be nefarious, with her wealth being gained if he marries and becomes an intentional widower. This site is a leading source for everything linked to The Young and the Restless. Check back regularly for Y and R spoilers and news. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, April 11, reveal that Victor Newman will make a punishment promise while Sally Spectra grills Audra Charles. Victoria Newman will also reflect on a hard lesson. So let's talk about what's coming up in Friday's I and R episode. For starters, Sally will sit down for a chat with Audra, but it may take a troubling turn. Audra is contemplating an offer from Victor, so she may give Sally updates and leave her sounding the alarm. Since working for Victor didn't end well for Audra before, Sally may wonder why she'd risk signing up for more drama. There's no guarantee Victor will deliver on his dream job offer, and even if he does, Audra can't count on him not to fire her down the road. Audra may not go into all the details of Victor's deal to destroy Kyle Abbott, but Sally may sense the potential for some relationship drama too. Nate Hastings' disapproval could lead to romantic disaster here, so Sally may warn Audra to keep that in mind. Nevertheless, Audra has been out of work for a while now, and she really would like to get payback on Kyle. There are reasons why Audra may remain tempted to take Victor up on his offer, despite the risks of doing business with Victor. No matter what Audra decides, Victor will make a promise when it comes to Kyle's future. Since Victor feels like Kyle deserves a harsh punishment for dating Claire Newman and setting her up for heartbreak, he'll vow to deliver it. Victor will want to make Kyle suffer over his Abbott family connection, and whatever he's cooking up at Jabot as well. Although Victor doesn't know about Kyle and Jack Abbott trying to beat him at his own spy game, he may find out soon enough. As for Victoria, she'll reflect on a difficult lesson she's learned, potentially when it comes to her past romances and Victor's control over them. Victoria will hope she can stop Victor from controlling Claire's love life in the same way, but we all know how Victor operates. Now that Victor's making predictions about Kyle's comeuppance, it's just a matter of time until things blow up for Kyle and Claire. The Young and the Restless spoilers say awful news is brewing for Claire and Kyle's relationship. So stay tuned to see whether they can withstand the challenges to come. CDL will have other fantastic Young and the Restless spoilers, updates, and news, so make us your favorite Wii and our hotspot.